Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Welcome again to another inspiring episode of Sit on the Couch with Dr. Triphi. So, I created this platform to engage in what I hope are stimulating and enlightening conversations with people I think are extraordinary from diverse fields. Today, I have invited Mr. Carlos Charles, who is, in my opinion, and in the opinion of several people who support him, I think an inspiring leader that promises a lot of hope at the helm of Team Unity Dominica. So, who is Mr. Charles? I have a feeling that the people who know Mr. Carlos Charles think they know him. I'm hoping that we learn so much more about him. So far, I'll share with you a little bit about Mr. Charles. He is currently pursuing a degree in political science and economics at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. Beyond that, he is an award winning information communication technology professional with a passion also for heavy equipment. A lot, right? So, Mr. Charles's diverse interests also include farming. I can't wait to hear his stories about farming, audiovisual work, and what I think are pioneering initiatives make him a standout figure as he emerges in Dominica and the Caribbean in our political and social sphere. So, Mr. Charles's foray into politics has been fueled by a deep seated desire to enact positive change on the nature island of the Caribbean. You hear how I sound. I'm originally from Dominica in the Caribbean. And if you've been listening to the news in the Caribbean and the news in Dominica, we have had a very stressful, tumultuous week and a half. I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts on that. Uh, he, I think, continues to solidify a foundation in politics. And I personally believe that he's got an astute understanding of policy making and ideas for governance in Dominica. His dedication to fostering unity and collaboration is exemplified in his leadership of Team Unity Dominica. Team Unity is an organization in Dominica that's committed to uniting Dominicans for good. So, as we begin tonight to explore his interest in agriculture, I want to hear about his ideas for using agriculture to transform our economy and the environment. I want to hear what he thinks about integrating modern technology with traditional farming methods, with just productivity and sustainability on the island. I want to hear his story of, I'm a story person. So I want to hear his story about how that began. How did that interest start? So I'm going to invite Mr. Charles in to tell us more about him. And as you come in, please share the live. Please share this. I again hope we have a thoughtful conversation. It's been very stressful these past, like I said, from the 19th of March. And I think we could stand to have a meaningful conversation to see what our options are as we all grapple with the future of Dominica. So, Mr. Charles, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, Dr. Triphi. How are you doing?
I am well. I am well. I am well. How about you, man? How about
I'm
you?
I'm good. I can't believe it's Sunday already. It's the end of the weekend. I gotta go back to work.
I was thinking about that. I woke up this morning to a flat tire. I'm like, this is my Sunday. I want to rest. I want to relax. It's been so stressful. I just need a little break. So, look, we still got to grapple with the realities of life.
Yeah, but there's no rest. There's this movie I enjoy looking at the James Bond movies.
Uh huh.
And there was this villain in one of the movies that said there's plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. So implying implying that you should keep going. Why waste time on sleep and rest? Just keep going. But when the body call for the rest, you have to take it.
You've got to
You
take
can't-
it. You have
I,
got
I
to take
myself,
it.
I myself, I love my sleep too, but at the same time, I love to do my work. If I have something to do, I'm looking to get it done and get it out of the way.
Yes, yes. Well, Carlos, we are going to ease into things. I don't want to go straight to the heart of things because, again, I sense fatigue, a level of fatigue from constant psychological pressure in Dominica. It's a lot. So, how about you tell me a little bit more about you from your perspective? Like, who are you? Who are you?
Um, Carlos is a reasonably reserved person.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody you find out Carlos politics, they'll find out Carlos in politics. But you're so quiet. How you find yourself in that? But
Yeah.
at the same time, while being a reserved person, I I'm outgoing as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends. I
Mm-hmm.
I mingle with a lot of people, and even before entering into politics, based on my line of businesses and the stuff that I've been involved in over my
Mm-hmm.
life. Um, I interact with persons a lot. So yes, while being a sort of reserved person, I am also someone who is can lean into the outgoing part of it. So it's a balance.
It's a
So then
balance.
balance.
That's a good balance. So you remind me of people who are maybe in themselves they are introverts, but they know how to be extroverts for work, for relationships, for whenever they need to. So they
But
have those skills as
even in relationships, I'm an introvert.
well.
I'm an
Ah,
introvert.
yes,
I'm a very private individual.
yes. Well, I'm looking forward to you opening up a little bit and sharing a little more about you for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I'm kind of person. I like the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
I like having fun. I like to have a good time. Who
What does that
doesn't?
look like? A good time. What's a
Huh?
good time? What does that mean? You like to have a good time. What does that look like?
Oh, going out with my friends and doing an island tour in Dominica on the bikes, or
Mm,
there's a little what we call in Dominica the local palace, a siwu. We go and touch a place somewhere, and
yeah.
there was this in times past I used to party a lot, but I've since scaled back and focused more on what to me is more important.
When I was a child, is that kind of like that, or what? Or you just your interest changed?
Not really about interest change, but as a matter of importance, things become more important, and you have to develop yourself.
So priorities. So you've
Yeah,
you've learned to prioritize. Okay, you
yeah.
mentioned something that caught my interest. You mentioned you go around the island on your bike. Tell me about your biking.
Oh, but I was never a bike person. I mean, for the for the for full transparency, Dr.
Mhm.
Triphi is my aunt. She has never known me to be a person in bike. One day she woke up and she hear Carlos have a bike. Carlos has a bike. She's hearing Carlos is riding all around Dominica. And an interesting story that my first bike, You
Uh-huh.
mothers have a way of knowing things. My first bike, I bought my first bike in Segway from a guy in Newton. He brought that down from Japan. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
myself and a couple of friends of mine in Kinfield, we went down. There were free bikes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I bought one, and my friend bought the other two. Some reason my mom heard about that. Hi, but I heard you buy bike. Heard you buy bike. You have money wasting. You better sell it. So Carlos had no choice. Pull up his hand brakes before I had to get a callot. Yeah, and Carlos sold that bike. That was maybe more than 10 years ago.
How
Uh,
old were you? How old were you when you reacted to your mother in that way? When you responded to your mother's request to sell the bike? How old were
well, I
you?
was over 20. I was
You were
over
over
20.
20.
I was
So
over
you were
20.
already an adult.
It was
But
already
why
another.
why did you sell it? What made you sell it?
Because, I mean, you don't want one thing. I respect my mother and I
Hmm.
value her counsel. But at the same time, I didn't want to hear no noise in my head. So I said, Carlos boy, before you get yourself in trouble, if the lady sell that, come out in that. But years down the line, the itch is still there. I saw a bike available for sale on Facebook Marketplace. I didn't tell any one of my friends. I contacted the seller. I brought the seller to National Bank in Kinfield, and we did a manager's check. So there's a paper trail, and I told him I will contact you when to bring my bike for me. I couldn't ride, I could not ride. And one Saturday morning, I asked him to bring it home for me. By that time, I paid for my bike already.
Hmm.
All money paid, transfer done, all my thing done, and he brought it for me, and I push it in the yard. Every morning I get up before I go to work, I start it up, boom, boom, boom. I on YouTube learning to ride, and then my friend Doani, one of the couple evenings brought me to town and brought me to a private place so we could do our thing. But also, I it's not just bikes.
Hmm.
I like motorsports. So
Mm.
I used to have a Toyota Celica. I used to have Toyota Levins back in the all the thing, and then I had a Galant VR4 and other vehicles, fast cars. I migrate into bikes, and we like the friends that I associate with. These are the kind of things that we like. So maybe not so much of the rock climbing and going outdoors. Although my outdoors is the motorsports. So we
Hmm.
have bigger turbochargers, those kind of, yeah. So we're about that vibe. But I'm also, yeah,
Energy. Yes.
yeah, I'm also mindful of safety as well. So you hardly see me going. If you see me on the bike by chance without my helmet, just know I'm right there. I'm not
Mm.
going anywhere. But if I'm living Roseau, for example, heading out of town and giving home to go, leaving Kinfield to go to Roseau, I have my helmet. You understand?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
We try to do it as safely as possible. So much so that the guys in the bike club used to call me the turtle because everybody looking to go fast, 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 and Carlos staying at the back. And
Yeah.
other times they would call me the Ninja Turtle because not every time I want to be at the back. I want to, pace a little. The Carlos, but what happened to you today? But yeah, that's in a
But
nutshell.
what I'm hearing though is this really interesting balance,
Yeah,
between the ninja and the turtle, right?
yeah,
and
yes.
and and obeying or listening or really honoring and cherishing your mother's feelings, and balancing that with your own need for speed. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, that's a really cool balance right there. That's a really cool balance. That's I'm learning that about you. I
yeah.
appreciate you for sharing that.
But I'm also mindful of the unease that the parents
Yes.
would feel. um, where I used to live before wasn't far from my parents. So anytime she would hear the bike go, let's say Friday night after
Mm-hmm.
house goes out, they hear the bike go down, and she knows how the bike sounds. So it's not
Yeah,
somebody else's own. Even though
yeah,
I try to creep silently and try to do it quietly, she know I go no, and she'll not sleep until she hear that bike go back up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
have a
would,
question for you. I have a question for you regarding that because I can hear the passion in your voice about biking still. But we just lost a couple really um,
yeah.
like well-known young men, uh, and I know we have the bike festival coming up pretty soon. What are your thoughts about that? Because I heard you mention safety a couple times in the conversation, but that ninja total balance vibes. What are your thoughts? Especially for young bikers and people who have a passion for the sport.
I should have. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I You can tell that is something that is sensitive to me because
Mhm.
he was really close to me. As a matter of
Mhm.
fact, during Maria, he was one who had me got me a place to stay while
Mm.
while options were few and scarce.
Mm.
Um, God rest his soul. May his soul rest in peace. That's Mr. Pat E. Henry.
Mhm.
Um, I met with him on the very same night that he had the accident. We were
Mhm.
again having a good time.
Mhm.
And when I got home and I got a call that, hey, Pat crash.
Mhm.
I'm a customer of that because Pat knows how to fall. I,
Mhm.
Pat knows how to fall. So if we crash now, we customer if he has an accident, we go online, order the kit for the bike, and by the
Mhm.
following 2 weeks, you'll see that bike passing like nothing ever happened. Take your
Right,
time
right.
and move forward. And he
Mhm.
is one of those that has a major influence on me in terms of the bikes. Uh,
Mhm.
and we'll miss him. We'll miss
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
We'll miss
I'm
him. But
sorry.
in terms of the safety aspect
Mhm.
of it, he was one of those that really champion that aspect
Mhm.
of the motorcycle, because as
Yeah.
so much so, like if you're moving from that used to be a ritual. If you're moving from home and you're not going too far, we would
Mhm.
always have what you call like a half cast, the half helmet. It's like
Okay.
a basin, and you put it
Right,
on your
right, right.
head so that your face will be free, but you have something protecting that thing that you clip that on, and that protecting your thing. Not so much your face, but the
Mhm.
head itself is
Yeah,
protected. It
yeah.
was surprising to me that he didn't have one because I know the kind of person that he is and he champion
Mhm.
the cause. But yeah, it's
Yeah, that was a tough one. I'm
yes.
sorry. I'm sorry. So, well, here's the thing though, the Ninja Turtle, yeah, in you. How did you come then to be involved in politics? What is that story? What's the seed story there?
I from way back when. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you know how we raised. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I've been raised.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really taken a keen interest in the politics of Dominica. I've always been more into my everyday life, my
Mm-hmm.
doing my what I would say it in Dominica, doing your hustle,
Mm-hmm.
checking your sin, doing your business.
Right.
But it came to a point where you're doing so much that, and there's so much that you want to do, and you find the opportunities are so scarce. You look around you and you see your friends looking to get out. Your
Mm-hmm.
friends looking because the average young person is not looking to stay in Dominica. The average
Mm-hmm.
person is looking to get out. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be that guy because not like the opportunities are not there for me to do the same. So
Right.
I wanted to be part of the conversation. A group of us, we were talking, but these guys just doing the same thing over and over again. Best better as people come together and make our own party. So I
Mm-hmm.
contacted Mr. Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
I told Alex, you're onto something there. We've been looking at what you're doing from afar.
Mr. Bruno, as in Alex Bruno.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Probably we need to look at making. Let's make a help us make our own party. When I
Mhm.
when I spoke to him, Alex brushed that on the side. Alex didn't take that serious like at Carlos. stick up, stick up in it.
That's funny, y'all. He'll be right back. So, that's funny, Carlos. I can't wait for you to finish this story. So there was a part where Carlos mentioned, like I know how he grew up. I think perhaps what he's trying to say related to politics. Are you trying to say that your dad is also, he has a history of being very connected to politics, but maybe
Yes,
you yourself did not necessarily take an interest in politics
yes.
to that
So,
degree?
so my dad has been involved in politics since when I was a youth. Growing up, moving from going to school, go to junior high school, and later on my early days of grammar school. I used to go up and down with this God rest his soul, Alan Carbon. Get up
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock to leave cottage 5 o'clock to be tongue, beat the traffic and go to school.
Right.
Um, and back up. So and of course witnessing the banters between my dad and my uncle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even before Reggie became a minister, these
Yeah,
guys they always used to have the back and forth. But I never really paid too much attention to that. But not knowing that all this would become part of my upbringing and would stay in the back of my head.
that's right.
Um, I remember guys like Mike Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he died. I,
Mm-hmm.
I, um, and of course the late Rosie Douglas as well. I remember he and Reggie being close.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those things. Of course, we being with my friends and we're discussing things that we want to achieve and we're looking at how things are occurring in other islands and how people are, are, are moving forward and things we would like to see happen different in Dominica. This is
Mm-hmm.
what proper. But guys, if we have all those ideas, why don't we just, you know, you know what? I'm going to put my hand up
Yeah.
because with Dominica is a very, for lack of a better word, tribal place when it comes to politics. But
Mm-hmm.
but the people will not shun you. The Dominicans are really loving people.
Mm-hmm.
The tribal part of it will be you'll find that more from those who are how should I say beneficially connected.
That's interesting. Beneficially connected. So you'll find that the more fierce resistance from
Yes,
people who are beneficially connected. Yo,
right.
there's a nice phrase. Yeah.
Yes.
But you're
So,
saying for the most
but,
part, the
but the
people.
average person
Hmm.
will tell boys we need something different. We need something
Hmm.
new. We need
Hmm.
something. So this is why we came up with the idea of team unity, the idea of adding something new, and not like we're not interested in politics per se, the politics
Hmm.
of being politicians,
Hmm.
but you want to make a contribution to the country and you want to do some positive things in towards the development of your country.
Hmm.
So, I mean, for example, why are we spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and the majority of the workforce, not that we don't have Dominicans, but a high percentage of the workforce are foreigners. You understand?
You're
They,
talking about the airport, or you're talking about other projects in the country?
I'm talking about the airport, I'm talking about many other projects in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, you notice in your introduction of me, you mentioned that I have interest in the heavy
Heavy
equipment.
equipment. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
right. So the guys who are involved in the business as well, I feel
Mm-hmm.
their pain. Their pain is my pain because
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have 4 trucks,
Right.
a few excavators, and be able to do certain projects, you know? And
What I'm hearing is you would love to be able to grow your business as a small
yes,
business person in
right,
Dominica,
right.
utilizing the projects that the government of the country is financing and paying millions and
Yeah,
millions and
I,
millions of
I mean, I
dollars
mean, I
out.
mean, we financed it from the CBI, which is Dominica's, which belongs to all of us.
Right,
Why
right,
should
right,
most of the benefits
right.
be be received by persons who are foreign to the country? Nothing against the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
I respect them, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe we should continue working with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I also believe that our charity begins at home.
Yes.
So you have to make sure
Yes.
your people are good. So
First.
yes. So
Yes.
Mr. Maglo with his truck tire shop, instead of having one one container a month. I'm just assuming,
Mm-hmm.
or one container every 3 months. He could be bringing in 3 containers a month
Right,
because
right,
because
right,
because of the increased activity. But what we
right.
see is the it's tend to be leaning towards those who are foreign when we should
Mm.
be looking to pull our people together.
First.
You understand? So the people should
Yes.
be benefiting first, and
Yes.
and and we've seen a lot of that happening when all people are able to do a lot of the work. Good
Mm-hmm.
evening, Mrs. Charles. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. And of course, I forgot to say good evening to your viewers and listeners. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for tuning in to Dr. Triphi and listening to our conversation. I'm taking
Yes.
over your show.
That you're doing a fantastic job. Look, that's what I need. Anybody who comes on here, I want them to take over the conversation. I want to learn. I want to listen. Okay. So yes. Yeah. So that was well said. That was well said. So this was your inspiration, you're saying, you
Yeah.
and a group of other people, other young people. See, I'm fascinated by that because I hear on Facebook every day, where are the young people?
Okay.
I
So
mean, you don't
so
look like a young,
the
you're like
people.
an old man to me.
No, no, no. I live life for a little while, but I'm not old. I still very much a young person, right? Um, so myself, Kenty, that is Kenton Seja.
Okay.
Kenty is a handyman, a professional handyman. He has a
Yes.
handyman business where he,
Yes.
he, he does construction and so on.
Yes.
Irwin is into IT.
Mm.
He's into construction as well. He,
Mm-hmm.
like myself, both did IT. Well, I'm not really doing it as a business right now. I only special request kind of thing. But I
Mm-hmm.
used to I used to do it heavier before.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm more make recommendation if somebody asks me to do some consultancy,
Mm-hmm.
that's what level I do it. Although I assist with one of the small businesses in terms of IT as well. I do some as well. Of course, Kendra, Stephen, we
Mm-hmm.
we came together and we reached out to Alex, and that's how Team Unity was put together. That's how we started. Of course, Carlos being the outgoing person that he is, so he put the team on his back, and
Mm.
that's why you're seeing Carlos. And some people will say it's Alex and Carlos alone that in Team Unity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I saw that. I see that on Facebook. And up to today, they tag me in a post saying that it's Alex and Carlos alone in Team Unity. They
So
don't.
can you say again, can you tell us again who are the other members of Team Unity?
The founders.
Okay, the
What,
founders.
what I was telling you are the founders.
Okay.
Um,
So the founders are
for
Carlos Charles, Kenty, Sergio.
Bruno, Kenton Seja,
Hmm.
Ernie Manuel,
Hmm.
and Kendra Stephen.
Okay. And
I
now, my assumption is you have more members.
Yeah, there are other persons because we since the last election. Remember when Team Unity was formed, 1 month after we faced an election,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
The other political party in the country decided not to take part in the election.
Mm-hmm.
We took part. The
Mm-hmm.
government, with the imposing mandate, we went up against a big Goliath, David versus Goliath. We were
Right.
the only ones with a plan for Dominica. We had our manifesto. We just formed
Yes.
less than a month. No money, no outgoing, just a little news snippet here and there. We do a press
Mm-hmm.
conference. Carlisle would come
Mm-hmm.
and give me my blues.
Yes.
What make you think? Who are the people? Who are the members? Who was part of that team? But we were
Yes.
able to get people to vote for us. Over 100 people in all of Dominica
Said yes.
said yes. Let's give these guys support because there is the climate for something different.
Yes.
We have the team. If we get when we put our team out there, we have our
Mm-hmm.
resources in place.
Mm-hmm.
We run a full election campaign. You will
Mm-hmm.
see the full power of team unity, and the people will respond. Because the by and large, everywhere I go, that's the cry I'm hearing from people. You
Why do
want
you think people are crying out like that for change? I one could argue, which is what I heard the current leader of Dominica suggest recently, that he wanted to go on until the end, until Jesus came, or
nobody else. He also said in an interview recently that Dominicans are not looking for that. Dominicans want something different,
Mm,
and that was making reference to the activities of Lit March, right?
mm,
Dominicans want something different. So let us get something different for them. Let's give them
mhm.
something different, and that is what Team Unity is presenting to Dominica.
Well, as you talk about late March, late today. Is it late today? Well, I just saw it today, but the
Mhm.
letter is dated March 28th, 2025. I really am looking to hear your thoughts on what happened March 19th, and it's continuing, it's still unfolding. But on March 28th, Team Unity Dominica, with your logo, one voice out of many, you put out a statement that says Team Unity Dominica stands with the people in condemning police brutality and upholding the right to protest. Like all Dominicans, we watched in outrage and sorrow as peaceful protesters, including our elderly citizens, were met with excessive force, tear gas, rubber bullets, and brutal beatings by police on March 19, 2025. The images of our people, injured and humiliated, are a stain on our democracy. Team Unity Dominica strongly condemns these violent acts and stands firmly in solidarity with every citizen who exercised their constitutional right to protest. No justification exists for officers smacking an elderly person to the ground. No excuse validates the harassment and intimidation of a journalist who was documenting the activities for posterity. These actions are not just unacceptable, they are a direct violation of human rights under Article 6 of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which prohibits cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. Dominica's constitution guarantees the right to peaceful protest. Yet what we witnessed was not just an attack on individuals, it was an attack on democracy itself. When our people raise their voices, they must be heard, not violated into silence. We applaud the courage of those who stood up for justice, and we demand accountability for the officers who abused their power. Journalism is not a crime, it is a vital pillar of democracy, and we stand with MO News in their right to report freely. Dominica is at a crossroads. The old ways of repression, division, and political games have failed us. Team Unity Dominica is committed to real change, not through violence, but through unity, dialogue, and respect for every citizen's rights. To the people of Dominica, your pain is our pain, your fight is our fight. Together, we will turn the page on this challenging chapter and build a nation where justice, dignity, and peace prevail. Your thoughts?
What you see, when this electoral reform conversation started, well, it has been there for the better part of 14 years, better part of a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's not something that we're seeking to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
We have added our voice to the conversation when there was when there were activities where we were asked to present. We made our feelings known.
Mm-hmm.
So much to say that some factions do not support or do not like the way that we present because we're not into agitation. I believe we can solve our problems without having to throw a stone.
Mm-hmm.
We can solve our problem. We can talk.
Mm-hmm.
You may not like me. I may not like you, but we have a common goal. We each of us should love our country, and
Mm-hmm.
we may have different ideas of how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But let us talk. Let us talk, and that is the way we operate. So our thing is that we think that electoral reform should not be something that is done, not because it will prevent you from winning and make me win. It should
Mm-hmm.
just be done.
Right.
It must be done. Not something that we should be playing a game with.
Mm.
Let's just do it and move forward. But
As in it's the right thing to do. Just
yes,
it needs to be done. Just do it without machinations and political games and like as if we're
yes,
playing checkers and chess
right,
and
right.
yeah.
There was a demonstration. There was a
Mm-hmm.
demonstration. I mean, the citizens have a right to protest,
Mm-hmm.
but the police should be measured in the way that they're doing things. Yes, nobody got how should I say it? Nobody got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got necessarily hurt to the way that they're still in the hospital. But
Mm-hmm.
the videos tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
You see a policeman lunging forward to slap an elderly person. You
Mm-hmm.
see a policeman throwing a stone like it's the days when Curtly Ambrose was bowling.
Right, right, right.
You understand? You see those kind
Yeah.
of things and throwing it at protesters when
Mm-hmm.
that is not standard police practice. So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things we don't support that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, but the focus for us is always the people, and by and large, while the people support electoral reform,
Mm-hmm.
people support that. We want it. No, we got it in some way, shape, or form recently. The problem we have in Dominica are bread and butter issues.
For example, what are these bread and butter issues in your
Issues like
opinion?
issues like what I just spoke about. The truckers need work, and
Mm-hmm.
they shouldn't have to be blocking the roads to get a little bite, to get a little slice of the construction pie. The the,
Mm-hmm.
the farmers need their produce shipped out. They need more inputs. They need
Mm-hmm.
their feeder roads repaired. They need
Mm-hmm.
better pricing on the produce.
Mm-hmm.
For you to spend a planting takes 9 months to a year to grow
Yes.
before you can harvest, and
Mm-hmm.
you're giving a person dollar a pound, and not US, EC. So if
Meaning 33 US cents. So you're giving them 33 cents.
you
Instead of
understand? So
33 cents.
after a man wait a whole 9 months, the period for a child to be conceived and born,
Yes.
for a planting. If that bunch of planting is 50 pounds, you're giving that man $50 for that. You have to
Wow.
wait all that time to get $50.
Yeah.
I just use that as an example because it may weigh a little more than that.
Right.
but you get where I'm coming from.
Mhm.
You need better pricing. You need markets. You need ways to find ways to make agriculture more attractive to the young people. You need to do it more strategic. You need to look at ways of increasing the workforce. Because you know how hard it is for me to get somebody to work for me.
Mm. How
Almost
hard? Tell me.
the people who the people like Mr. Roll who used to work the farm, they dying, and those that coming now looking to use the they're doing a fast secondly, they're just cutting off the top of the grass and the roots staying there and the grass growing back in 2 weeks after the rainfall. You
So
understand?
when you mentioned Mr. Roll is Carlos started this by disclosing that I'm his auntie, I'm his mom's sister. And so our stepdad was a farmer all of our lives. And he grew so much. And our mom, would sell the produce. So what you're saying is his generation of farmers
Yeah.
they produced so much food, just so much food.
Mhm.
And this generation, perhaps your generation, as I acknowledge your interest in farming yourself, this generation you're saying is not as interested, or they're not as skilled in, because you say the way they're weeding, even the way they're weeding the grass is
I
not
wouldn't
efficient.
say I wouldn't
What's
say
going on? What is it? What are you
I
trying to say?
wouldn't say that we're not interested because we like our braff on a Saturday.
You like your food, yeah.
You like a braff on a Saturday. Before you get the braff, you have to plan the dashing and you have to plan the fig. And the
Right,
plan.
right.
You understand?
What's
So
holding young people back from planting, you think?
I think it's not that attractive because you work so hard to do the work, to put it together.
Uh-huh.
And you have to wait for it to grow. And then when you do that, you have no way of
Guaranteeing.
right. So that may earning an income from it. It's not easy.
So it's a big
So,
investment, front
mhm,
loaded. Front
mhm,
loaded, you put a lot of time, effort, and
mhm,
energy because you have to weed, you've got to maintain, you got to
mhm.
prune, you got to,
And you don't
you know,
maintain the grass coming back fast.
that's right.
So it's a constant war between you and the grass. And when you put your fertilizer, if you're not weeding, the grass going to grow back and your plant's going to suck. The grass going to suck that up. Gonna
Yes,
suck
yes,
that. But,
yes. And then
but
when you put in all of this work, you're saying that um, I guess you can tell me whose responsibility you think it ought to be to create markets for the young farmer. You also mentioned roads. Getting to their farms is very challenging
yeah,
because
I've been on projects where we examine the roads, and I've been on some farm roads. Wow.
what?
If you don't have a four-wheel drive, and some four-wheel drive will not get to those places.
Wow.
They'll not get to those places. It's very
Yes.
bad.
So
It's very
the infrastructure to support
yes,
farming on the island has been
yes,
decimated, is what you're
yes,
saying.
yes.
It is terrible. It's been decimated, and it needs attention to make farming uh, a possibility, to make it make
I'm not
sense.
sure if you I'm not sure if you saw a video sometime back. I think it was last year where a farmer was crossing a, a road, there's a drain, and
Mhm.
to cross the river, they put wood across,
Wow.
and that's what the vehicle had to drive on. And then
Wow.
one of the wood broke, and the vehicle right.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't see it.
all these are the kind of difficulties that the farmers face.
Yes.
And and if we're serious about agriculture, for example, if community comes into office tomorrow, our
Yes.
first focus is short-term crops.
Why?
Short-term crops, because
Right.
you want to, and you have to do it on a large scale. You have to do it
Hmm.
on a large scale, because when you look at it, people must eat.
They must eat.
People must eat.
They must eat.
Mouth open, have to eat something.
That's right.
You understand? So you need to tap into, and the Dominican produce is well loved all over.
For sure.
I can remember Mama going with her thing to sell as a huckster, and she would give us stories about it. She doesn't have enough to sell.
That's right.
You understand? And right now we evolving like in Dominica and the Portsmouth area. Some of the businessmen are investing in boats, a lot more boats right now. So there are more
Mm,
opportunities for getting out there. But when you're doing a thing, that it needs to be more structured. It needs to be structured. You need to you have various arms of government. You have Dexia, you have Invest Dominica, you have various arms. So these places should be pushing those
mm,
things so that at the end of it, the end person who benefits are the people in the country. I
right.
remember I remember when the bananas, for example, when we had the green gold
Mm-hmm.
and vehicles reaching all Kinfield lining up to go and sell. I remember when copra Mama used to sell her copra,
Coconut from the dried coconuts.
right,
Yeah.
roasted, and I used to ram my bags of copra too.
That's right.
I remember when those
Everybody
vans,
in the family participated
mhm,
in getting the crops started in the soil and to being sold. We
yes,
all participated.
one helped
Yeah.
me store to collect our dry coconut and peel it and burst it and put it in the line for them to dry in the
Yes.
copra house. You know,
Yes.
but the specific mention is the farmers were able to make money from those things.
For
Right
sure.
now,
And
right
Carlos,
now,
there's something that I will never forget because I wrote it down in a journal. I used to keep a diary as a child. And in one of my entries, I recorded that Mr. Rawl made $5,000 from 1 week of bananas. It was only
bananas. And I remember those. I used to see those checks,
yes,
the little paper they was printing with
that's
those
right.
matrix printers, those
Right.
checks, and they tear in it, and you have the little thing at the back.
So
Check.
five thousand
How
one
many
week,
pounds? How
five
many
thousand dollars
pounds?
for 1 week, just
Yes.
bananas. In a month, you can make $20,000. A month, you can feed a family of eight, nine, 10, which is what had at the time. Your family can eat. You don't have to be worrying about, you know, going to ask people and beg people for sustenance, for daily sustenance.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
I remember when this is Demi Junior Charles used to say, diversify, Mr. Farmer,
Right.
diversify, because we were one crop country.
Right.
Um, and also we were getting competition from unfair from,
Trade
yes, unfair
practices.
practices. So it was getting a bit difficult for the Caribbean bananas. However, if you do the right thing as a government for
Hmm.
your people, it will work.
It
Right
must.
now, right now, Antigua is buying plantains from Dominica, and they're creating plantain chips.
Yes.
There are places, there are persons in Dominica who are doing that. All the
Yes.
time when I go in the supermarket, I try to buy one or two, although I want to ease up. I don't want to buy too much of the salt, but they,
Hmm.
they, they're doing it okay.
Yeah.
Um, Dominicans are doing it. What we
Yes.
can do is invest more in our Dominicans so we can do it on a larger scale
Right.
and look to export. Look to export. And
So
get that.
what Team Unity is saying is focus, right? Target. You were saying cash crops or crops that are shorter term. Yeah.
Initially
Mm-hmm.
short term, and
Mm-hmm.
as you grow, you look
Mm-hmm.
into the long term crops. So you do it side by side.
Right.
So you do your plantains. In between your plantains, you can have pumpkins. You
Right.
can have you can have cucumbers.
I
You
also
can do,
hear you
you can do
saying
peppers.
I also hear you saying that you all are focused on being creative with the
Yes.
way you use the natural product. So you're not just
Yes.
getting money from raw foods, but there's so many other ways to
Mhm.
save food, to dry
and
food,
it's
to
and it's not just agriculture. There's so many things that you can do as we have little cottage industries in Dominica. I have a
Mm-hmm.
cousin who does chocolate in Dominica
Mm-hmm.
from
Right,
Triphi,
right.
right, up in the Castlebrus area, and there are others who do it as well. There are others who do the juices. There are others who
Mm-hmm.
do the little kaku to sell
Right,
overseas. Those things can go on Amazon and sell. Those things can
for
reach
sure,
to the UK and sell.
for
There are
sure.
places in those countries that still import from the Caribbean. Why don't we have?
Yeah.
So these are things that we can be
So why do
looking
you
at.
think we don't have? Why do you think?
There's
Mm,
not enough focus on those things. There's not enough
mm,
focus on that. A
mm,
simple thing, fishing. I mean, yes, I see the government doing a making a push with the fishing, but if you do it structured, you
mm-hmm.
give the different fishermen because they already set up as cooperatives. You set
Right.
up you set up the Fokole cooperative with their trawler. You set up the
Mm-hmm.
Maho cooperative with their trawler. Instead, they have boats going in and out and the in and out every day. Sometimes they'll go out. They have those boats out, constantly on those little boats, just bringing supplies and bringing back goods.
Mm-hmm.
We can be
Mm-hmm.
looking to export fish and get fresh fish out because look, we have direct flights to the US. So why
Mm-hmm.
can't we get a fish from Dominica and
Yeah.
land it in New York
Yes.
tomorrow?
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
All those are things that we should be looking at. Get our business going. Dominic, we have to think of the country as a business.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that's your approach as
Yes,
a team unity.
yes.
Well, you're a young man. Something interesting I noted about you is that
Well,
um, something interesting that I noted about Carlos is his educational uh, aspirations, and not just aspirations, but also training. Yeah. So I'm going to ask him about that when he comes back. Let's take some of your comments that I find quite interesting. Hi, Roselia. Roselia says, so we were talking about the ninja turtle in you, the balance. Yeah. She says she's also an intro extrovert, very hyped during the day, always smiling, interacting well with other people. Noise gives her the energy needed to get through the day. However, deep down, she longs for silence while being in the noise. So as soon as her day comes to an end, rushes home to her peace and quiet where the TV can remain off. Yes, she can de-stress, come down, pick up a book, and get back into center, get back to her happy place. She doesn't think that an introvert makes themselves an extrovert to get by. It's just the way it is. What are your
yeah,
thoughts?
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm kind of the same as well, except that I like to look at, well, for his books. For me,
Uh,
it's YouTube where
uh,
yes, I catch up on my news. I catch up on
mhm,
on the sports.
mhm.
Full disclosure, I'm a Lakers fan, not a LeBron fan. I'm a Lakers fan from Magic Johnson days.
Yes,
Me and my mother will be arguing about Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson. You know,
yes. So you're
well,
not new to this. You're
yeah,
not new to this. Yes.
no, I'm not a rookie in that. So I love my sports.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would also, most importantly, follow persons with different in different industries internationally when they would post information out there, um, and of course things that will teach you how to
Mm-hmm.
do things. So even if my farming
Right.
before I before I started doing things, I would look at how others do it internationally. So what would apply for us necessarily, what would apply for them would not necessarily apply for us because
Mm-hmm.
they have different seasons compared to
Right.
Dominica.
Right.
So they would start their planting closer to the end of the year, doing their seedlings indoors with their heating pads. So
Mm-hmm.
as soon as it's spring, that their seedlings will be big enough so that they can plant. But for me, I don't have that problem. I can do it year round at any time of the year, except, well, Well, when it's cowing, you have to make sure you have your water. Make sure, and now we get into the cowing season. I'm trying to put my things in place. And also, I just set back up my greenhouse, so my seedlings, and put my little mist sprayers, get that set up. So when I'm not there for the day, my plants are still okay.
What's one of the big lessons you've learned from farming yourself? Because of course, you mentioned like your well, I perhaps mentioned it in your bio. You watched your father grow a lot of food. Your father's been a farmer forever in the heights of Captain Bruce in
Mhm.
Marigot. You watched your grandfather grow food for all of your life. But again, like you say, there's something that it's a transition for a young person to say,
Yeah,
well, I'm
because
interested.
I can understand why the average young person may not be interested in agriculture
Mm-hmm.
initially.
Mm-hmm.
So someone that, but I don't want to the dirt to be under my fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I understand that, but at the same time, that same person want to eat a broth.
Right, right, right.
They want to they want to eat a titiwi,
Yes,
eat yakra. And by the way, I respect the fishermen, because
yes.
outside there in that water, it ain't easy. When a fisherman give you his price, for me, pay the man his price. Don't
Taking
give
it.
no fisherman no
Yeah,
headache. But yeah, for I would understand why a young person would find it difficult or find it not attractive to be involved in farming, because for it's a lot of work, it's hard work,
mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's not right away pay. But
Yeah,
if you do it right, you can make a living on it. This is what that sent a lot of our aunties, uncles, and parents to school.
for sure.
This is what you so those that are younger than me who don't know about Sag Motors was a
Mm,
Toyota dealership. This is what the farmers used to come with their bag of money in an envelope. Sorry, in a crush up paper bag,
mm-hmm.
cash money to
Yeah,
buy their 4 wheel drives. Cash,
cash.
and some of them still going today. They
Yes.
still going today. Some of those vehicles, when I drive on, I see those vehicles on the road. But you get where I'm coming from. This business has a lot of potential.
So that's been your
Uh,
biggest lesson, you saying, from
yes,
farming.
yes, and I've been involved in it from me personally, from seed to sell. So
Mm-hmm.
so I would do my seedlings, and you yourself can attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
Besides
I can. I can.
besides besides me teasing you with the mangoes every now and
Yo, so every now and then he will troll me essentially with his mangoes. There's a favorite mango we've got on the yard, and he'll call, "Hey, when you coming down for your mangoes?" That's all right, man. That's all right, man. So okay, so now I want to talk about. I'm feeling the Ninja Turtle vibes. A farmer has got to be very grounded and planted, and you're almost married to the land. You're tied to the
but
land.
I would never call myself a farmer because I'm still a novice to this thing. So
Exactly.
so Lambe is a farmer, Mr.
Yes.
Earl is a farmer, Carlos is not a farmer. I
Carlos is
just
not a farmer
Carlos
yet.
is getting is involved in it.
There you go.
I'm doing what I can, doing what I
Yes.
can. But step by step, as I carry along, it will grow. So right
Yes.
now, I maybe have about 150 plantains in soil. It
Mm,
will grow.
for sure.
I'll move to maybe 400, 500.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And we could go talking for a long time about that because I also saw you just had a baby goat. You had a little
Yes.
kid.
Yes. I used to have 7 of them, and they were they were doing well, but goats are funny animals, and also
Uh-huh.
the weather. So I
Yes.
lost a few of them.
Oh.
I lost a few, and not that I wasn't treating them properly, but
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't the only one in the area who lost goats. So
Mm.
a lot of the weather, the bad weather, really messed them up. So it looked like they didn't do well, and
Yes.
they died. But recently, this week, I got some new boosts. I'm kind
Yes.
of excited about that, and I'm also looking forward to trying to get some more, possibly possibly some nice breeds to integrate with what I already have,
Very
and see
nice.
what we can do to, you know, hopefully when you come, we can cook a big goat water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With some mango. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me about now the educational piece because practical is great, but you're making this big move into politics as a young person. Um, Tell me more about your choice to study what you're studying at the University of the West Indies.
So I haven't been to any real university prior to my entry into politics.
Mm-hmm.
But as an employee of mapping and courts, so when you say the award winning, my I did my certification in computer science,
Mm-hmm.
the Network Plus, the MCSE, the RHC, that's a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer. So
Mm-hmm.
I am qualified. That's why I was able to keep my job at Mapping Telecom and Broadcasting, and later
Mm-hmm.
um, Mapping took it for in receivership. So I saw all of that.
And Harpin was
Television and internet service provider. So
are they still existing or no?
no, no,
Okay.
it's since been purchased by Wato's Cable Wireless Flow.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I used to manage the ISP part of Mapping, at
ISP is what?
internet service provider.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So deal with the servers, the service going out to the end users, setting up the stuff with my technicians and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so we're talking education. So
Yes.
the fact that I got an interest into politics, but I'm a kind of person, like if you can tell, once I get involved in something, I will look to do the research about it. So I wouldn't do it
Mhm.
by. So
Right.
I'm interested in agriculture. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for the ways on which I can do it
Right.
on a better stand, not just take my cutlass and run and swing it and and, and
Right.
push, push a cucumber seed in the soil. And
Right.
looking to see how we can do it better, the best ways to do it to get the high yield, what you have to do, how you can get so you can get the best fruits and so on. Just like so the politics is I have to look at educating myself in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I approached the University of the West Indies. I became a student of political science and economics. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very heavy. I don't know why I get in time to do, but
You don't know where you get in time. So your struggle is one of many adult
yeah,
learners, which
yeah.
is I'm
balancing,
working, but I'm
balancing, work,
also
balancing work life and student life,
yes.
personal life. So,
What is one lesson you've learned from that? What is one thing you've learned from that?
boy,
Let me say, what has been your biggest joy? What's been your biggest joy about that experience?
um, work as group assignments
Mm.
working with different people across the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
Um,
What
taking
about
different.
that? What about that is a joy?
Everybody has similar struggles, and you have a goal to meet, and
Mm-hmm.
you work together to meet that goal. And the way it's set up, it's difficult for you to be what I say, a hang along. So
It's difficult for you to just skate free, right?
yes,
Is what you're
yes,
saying.
you have to actively participate.
Right.
So and
Yeah.
everybody has their struggles, and
Yes.
it is set up so you can have the time to do your work
Mm-hmm.
while and you seems to understand that persons who are part of especially open campus are persons who have lives and other things going on with them, so they
Mm-hmm.
keep that in mind when they set up this stuff for you. So
What
that
what's
for me, it's
go ahead.
very it's a rewarding process you complete your assignment and you present it for the professor,
Hmm.
so on and so forth. Everybody's so glad it's over. Yes,
What's been your biggest pain about that? What's been your biggest pain about it?
boy, getting them assignments ready because they can add up,
Yeah.
and if you don't take care of them as soon as possible, they can add up on you, and you may not have enough time to complete them. So my
What
advice,
is that teaching you about yourself and about life?
my advice to anybody: if you have
Mhm.
something in front of you to do, just do it. Don't procrastinate.
So do it now.
Do it now and get it
Do
over
it
with.
now.
Yeah. Don't go and say, boy, let me go down the road. I mean, the almond deck not far. I can go and take a drink. But let, I'll do that when I come back, man. No, no, take care of your work first. Take care of your work first.
Yeah.
And then if you have time, you can do the rest.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I have a question about, and we're coming back. You know, I don't want to make the discussion tonight heavily focused all the
On the politics.
pain, on the pain. Yeah, we've been experiencing um, this past, some people would say many years, but
Hmm.
that's coming to a head in the last week and a half. But using your skill set, which is a really diverse range of very cool, interesting uh, areas of expertise, using that broad skill set, what innovative strategies or solutions you think Team Unity and you can put forward to us, the citizens, when it comes to engaging in meaningful dialogue? Because you know you're a storyteller with your audiovisual
Hmm.
stuff. You're a businessman with your heavy equipment. You're a farmer with your goats and your plantains and the plants and your seedlings. You know, you're a politician now. So I mean, what can you say to us, you know?
I would say that I'm just like the average young person who is
Mm-hmm.
looking to develop themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and like myself, many of our young people are not really looking to leave Dominica to go to greener pastures, but they don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a choice. And even those who are out there are looking to come back. Case in point,
Mm-hmm.
look at the environment that is created in the world. There are persons who will tell me, Carlos boy, but why they don't win now? But I want to come back Dominica, But the way the place is now, I cannot come back in that environment. I cannot come back
Yeah.
there like that. But I want to come back. So
Yeah.
so you want the place to be better. There's a lot of things that we can do differently, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not about fighting down each other, because I have no animosity to really towards any of the other parties. So
Mm-hmm.
I have no beef with anybody, but
Mm-hmm.
I really want things to be done differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no axe to grind with to say I don't like Mister in that position. I come to Mister have me like that. Like I don't need
Right.
to go deeply into it, but you get where I'm coming from. We
I do.
just want things to be done differently and better, and to be done on a more level playing field.
When you
So,
say a more level playing field, what do you mean?
it's like case in point, I'm gonna go back to the trucking
Mm-hmm.
opportunities for all.
Mm-hmm.
There are, and we can even go back to the persons who are involved in agro processing.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on getting their business up to a higher level. You get the person Jody who does
Yes.
the
Yes.
right.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
to
Yes.
focus on people like that, help them to
Mm-hmm.
get their business to a level where they can get their products on. Yes, because
Mm-hmm.
back then they would say that, for example, our soursop not good, but now we find out that it has healing quantity,
That's right.
quality. So those things we need to focus on them. The other
Mhm.
people in the various sectors, the small cottage industries, we need to bring them up. We need to bring them up. We need to create more opportunities for our local people and,
Mhm.
and get and let the ideas, especially from our young people. There's so many things that our young people have ideas to do, right? But it seems that our leaders are kind of bankrupt of ideas, and it's difficult for them to implement that. Though they may hear of the things that because it's not a secret. It's not a
Mhm.
secret. If it's not a secret that we have truckers in Dominica, why can't
Right.
we invest in getting Junjun to get to work, you know, on on,
Mhm.
on the airport, as
Right.
opposed to having all those trucks coming down brand new from China, and we have to go and buy used little thing, and then you come in and tell us um, Dominicans haven't got good trucks. But where the opportunities to get the work? When you gonna
Yeah.
buy a new truck? You gonna buy a brand new truck. Where you put it?
Mhm.
By the time you finish pay for that, the truck don't good again. With the little work in the local industry,
Yeah.
when we have big projects in Dominica, we boasting Marina, but all the equipment coming out from overseas to do. Why you didn't give Loic, for example, Mr. Honorary in person, the opportunity to bring in a long reach
Right.
excavator for him to participate in that. So we can be able to compete.
Yeah.
Whether it can be argued that the little companies may not be able to handle a big project on their own. But if we come together, that person that person have a roller, that person have a
Right.
skill, you know,
Right.
we can attack those big projects and the money will stay and circulate
With the
home.
people, yeah, and people's
Home.
lives at home get changed. So it's almost similar to the way you describe the agriculture industry, where you wait so long and then you get just a little piece.
Yes.
Kind of like a similar model with this. So it's like it's really hard to
Look at
find a way.
look at a thing like the World Korea Music Festival. We've been
Hmm.
doing it for so many years. Over
Hmm.
20 years. The sound system still has to come out from overseas.
Wow.
You understand?
Hmm.
So we have to wait for somebody to bring down a sound system. When God rest his soul, all when I know was trying to do something that he would be able to compete on a regional level.
Hmm.
But there's no, you're not encouraging people to invest more. Why are we not encouraging Arden and the others to empower them so they can have the equipment necessary to do the work, so the money can stay here.
I love that idea of, like, say, the truckers or the heavy equipment providers being able to cooperate, like form a kind of like a cooperative to be able to exist, right, and function as one, because that's how Grandpa Wowo, that's how they made their money
Yeah,
with the
and they
bananas.
do it in the agriculture. So Dennis van used to come and pick up Mr. Routing, and all them guys come together. They put, and instead of one, Lambie used to do it with his truck.
They fill it
One
up,
truck carrying 5 farmers produce, and
right.
everybody getting their
Everybody
stuff.
gets a piece. You can feed your families, you can
Yeah,
invest, you can take care of your home, you can repair your
and
homes,
you can meet the demand of the person
for the big
overseas.
market, for sure.
Yes,
For
everybody
sure.
come together.
For sure.
Hey
Ah.
Heather, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, Heather. How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay, well, Keisha Bonnet says, um, our farmers who are growing the crops, y'all, are getting paid $1 per pound. But Antigua, where they don't grow anything, they're selling those plantains after the farmer waits 9 months to get paid the $1 a pound. The seller in Antigua sells it for $5, $7 a pound.
Well,
So,
well, I don't really have an issue with the price that they sell it for in Antigua.
No, that's
I don't think
reasonable
that.
though. That's
Yeah,
reasonable
yeah. But my issue is we need to push for better pricing for our people. And
for
now,
our people.
yes, and now next year we'll give you $1 for your planting. You wait 2 weeks to get paid, and you have your workers to pay.
Yeah,
You have your family to feed.
yeah.
I mean, yes, you
Makes it
keep
very painful. It
you
makes
keep
it very painful day to
yeah
day.
man, yeah man. So
Yeah.
well,
Well,
it's
what's in your manifesto, and how can we access your manifesto? Because you said last election, you guys were the only, your party was the only one being newly formed, 4 weeks in, and having to participate in a general election. You
yes.
still created a manifesto, which had been a long established tradition in Dominica. Most
Mm-hmm.
parties would not even dare show their faces if they did not have a manifesto. So
But people talk about Carlos, but all you fellas are gods. All you going up against Kerry. You see, you are good head. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
why did you
We didn't
go
expect to
election
win.
with
We didn't
David?
expect to win. You
Hmm.
understand? Is the principle of the matter. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, my concession speech was written before the election.
Mm.
I, I, I ready to. I already know I'm going to lose, so I was
Yeah,
ready
of course.
for
Of
for
course.
for that, and I prepared my speech and presented it.
Right.
However, the person who want to access our manifesto, it's available on our Facebook page, so you can get a soft copy on there. And of
Mhm.
course, if you want me to send it to you for you to keep it for yourself, just send us an email, tuddominica@gmail.com. We
tuddominica@gmail.com is your email. And then
Yes,
your Facebook page is what?
Team Unity Dominica.
Team Unity Dominica.
Yes.
All
We
right.
have Facebook, YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and so on. All the various TikTok and so on. We're there on the various social channels.
So
Kind of,
this is a bit of a, I don't know how I would say, question. Do you think I maybe asked that in a different way earlier, but does it seem as if we're still very locked into a two-party system in Dominica, where do you think enough people are aware of Team Unity Dominica in the way that you all wish?
um, yes and no. Yes
Mm-hmm.
and no. What the bigger noise right now
Mm-hmm.
between two people, two major two political parties.
Mm-hmm.
They have control over the media landscape, so
Mm-hmm.
they're using that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we as a newer entity have to be more creative in getting our information out there. So we'll be more on the ground, doing our stuff, meeting the people at their level. But
Mm-hmm.
you also have to remember that the persons, for example, who will be calling the radio programs are usually the usual suspects.
Ah, so the usual voices
Yes,
are making it seem very loud, you're
yes.
saying.
But
Mm-hmm.
but the people on the ground are speaking differently.
What are you
Speaking
hearing
different.
from the people on the ground?
They're asking for something different.
So are you saying that the current party who's been there for 20, 25 years, who says they want to renew their vows with Dominica, you think the people
If
want to be
Dominicans don't see an option, the current party will remain there.
mm,
If you so it's just like a woman in a battered house syndrome. You
mm,
understand?
mm,
She not going to leave what she's saying for what she not saying.
mm,
It has to be something that makes sense to her. So
mhm.
we as team unity are positioning ourselves to be the thing that makes sense to Madam Nick, so
Yeah.
that Madam Nick will choose what is best for her, and we can
Mhm,
move forward and turn the page on the rancor, the argument, the left and right. Because by and large, Dominicans don't want to fight. If
mm-mm.
we if we wanted to fight, this government will be out of there a long time
Mm,
ago. We
for
don't
sure.
we don't want to go pulling left and right. No, no.
Sure.
Come, present your plans. Present your plan. This is what we want to do.
Right, for sure.
This is what team unity has been all about. You engage us on a one-on-one. You get us involved in on the program. We try to go out on those various mediums, and our
Mhm.
traditional media. I'll add and we and for
As in the radio stations and okay.
yes and it's
Are you suggesting that it's been difficult? I thought part of the electoral reform
I will
new media.
let me be straight with you because I've said it on various platforms. If
Be
we send
straight.
out if we send out our press release to DBS, they
Uh-huh.
will hear it. They will hear it. If we send it to Kyrie, they will hear it.
Uh-huh.
Some of the other media houses, I would say they're kind of reluctant. I see I
Mm.
see I see I see some a reluctance and so much to say. No, see, we all family here. I can speak freely with my Dominican people. How many people have you in 1,000?
Listen, by the end of the week, it's gonna be 1,000, 2,000.
When we put out our press releases, we have had the experience where a certain media house, I will not call their name, has gone and not publish our content, get
Mm.
feedback so they can publish that similar story from somebody else and make it seem like we anti that situation. And I make reference to one situation where we put out a statement regarding the president of Dominica.
Mhm.
Community supported the nomination of our current president,
Mhm.
and a media house worded this story to make it seem like we were against another presented candidate.
Mm.
You understand? And if you know the backstory and you know what's going on, you know how I work, for example, you would find that is impossible for me not to like the other candidate.
Right.
But my
Right.
thing is, my thing is, if and the party position was that we already the government presented what we can consider a groundbreaking candidate.
Candidate. Mhm.
Let us use that as a reason to come together
Mhm.
as one voice and say yes. Let us
We
move
can
forward.
unite on something.
Correct,
Yes, yes.
correct. Because that is not something that you necessarily have to fight about.
Right.
You understand?
Mhm.
Irrespective of the fact that the government has an imposing mandate
Mhm.
and they will win anyway. But
Right.
put that aside, and let us come together on that because they presented somewhat a respectable and someone that can be worked
We
with.
could all get together on. We could all say
Yes,
yes. Yes.
yes.
Yes.
So don't
Mhm.
make it seem like you have to fight over everything. And this is the attitude of team unity. If something is wrong, we'll say
Mhm.
it's wrong. We'll say
Mhm.
it's wrong, as evident in our statement we released recently, right? But
Mhm.
if it's right, let's find a common ground. Let's find a way we can work around it. Let's work together and move
Mhm.
forward.
Okay. So this is about you. Who's been your biggest influence or mentor in your journey, in your political journey, particularly? And how has that impacted you as a person?
Um, biggest biggest mentor. First of all, my mom.
Mm.
She keeps me grounded. Keeps me grounded. So I will never be. I will never be a different person. I'll always be the humble person, and it's impossible for me to be different than how I am
Mhm.
because she would never. I wouldn't be doing her justice, and
Mm.
and of, and of course, I treat it similarly in other aspects of life, and
Mm.
and also I look at persons like this is Mr. Carbon. Uh,
Mm.
they
Mr.
used to,
Aline Carbon,
yeah man, yeah
who
man,
used to be the parliamentary representative for the Cottage constituency, which is
yeah,
my constituency, your mom's birth constituency.
yeah.
Mm.
These are people that influenced me growing up, and I work with a lot of people. Some person may not like me to necessarily call their names,
Hmm.
but there are a lot of people on all
Pause
sides
on all
on,
sides. Pause for a
on
second.
all sides.
I would love to hear you say a little bit more about Mr. Carbon because, like, honestly, like, like I still think about him in that way that I sense that you're thinking about him. So, what would you say about him? What was unique about him that
Down
stuck
to earth person,
all of this time?
down to earth person. He not too big to give a person a ride to Roseau. Is it just like Rosie? And
Hmm.
you would hear stories of Rosie being in the PM vehicle and stopping in the Borough Square to give somebody a ride on that vehicle to
Hmm.
go to Roseau when he
Hmm.
going to work. You think some of our leaders in the major political parties out there would do a kind of thing like that?
Hmm.
You
So,
understand?
so how did
You
that
not
make you feel? What was the
you
feeling that put inside of you or that left you with?
your people you have you serving people, and
Hmm.
if you love your people, you shouldn't be too big. You have people going to be calling you minister peep peep. you 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 come into office and your glass up, your tint AC blowing. Mark you, I
Hmm.
love my AC.
Right.
You understand? But that
Right.
is, but before you get in there, your glass down and you waving
Hmm.
everybody. You understand? But you have to be connected
The
to your
connection.
people.
The
Yeah, connected to
connection.
your people. Connected to
Yeah.
your people. So
Yeah.
I'm not a man that live on the block. I mean,
Hmm.
I raise in-house, but I still had my little foray on the streets. So
The
I know my
ninja and the turtle. The ninja and
yeah
the turtle. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I have my friends on the block as well, man. So
Hmm.
it's not a corporate world only that
Right.
Carlos has been. Yeah, I joined the guys. I remember guys like Norman Deja, Daryl Thomas, and so on. The guys we work at mapping, and Mr. A would come down and he would contribute to our Friday box. We'd have our little Friday box and we outside mapping, and persons passing and they drop in, give us something or give us something, and they contributing to the bottle we're going to buy in the shop in the corner there. Mr. A will contribute to that. So it's not just when it's time to work, we're working hard. No? When
Right.
it's time to work finish, we're freeing up. You know what I mean? So
It's pretty cool as you talk, this connection, this again a Ninja Turtle vibes, the speed, the faster life of Cane Field Roseau, and then slowing down in Cottage and in Marigot, because you have
mm,
that connection as well, is
mm,
coming to the fore. So
mm.
one word, I want you to tell me one word. When I say the place, you tell me the first word that comes to your mind. Yeah? Or the
O-
feeling that comes up in you. So
okay.
cottage,
Peace,
Canefield,
home,
Marigold,
family,
Roseau.
work.
Money have to make.
You have to hustle. You have to hustle. And I believe as well. I mean, yes, Roseau is the CBD, the central business district of the country, but we
Yes,
also need to look at decentralizing, and because we have another capital as well.
yes.
I firmly believe, and Carlos putting out too much ideas. But if ideas don't reside in one head, I have
You
no
can at least
problem sharing.
exactly,
I have no
exactly.
problem sharing.
What
But
other sector
nobody
are you talking about?
nobody will never be able to implement things better than the plan that you have. Yes, we give them our manifesto, but if they engage us, we'll tell them how to do it. So
Yeah.
it's not just say we're going to um legalize marijuana. not just saying it. You have to look at how we're going to do it and how is it going to benefit Dominica,
Yes.
right? So yes, we look at the adding another port to Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Longhouse there. Longhouse has been a staple, and that are you aware that this is possibly the only sheltered harbor in Dominica?
Oh, really?
Yes, Longhouse.
What's the value of that
The,
shelter
the,
harbor? Having a
the
shelter.
Prince Rupert's Bay. It's only
Uh-huh.
sheltered harbor in Dominica. Um, the
Why is that a
value
good
the value of that is when the rough seas is these areas are calmer than the areas that are not
because
sheltered.
of the way the bay is
Yes,
like
so
that?
cool.
Yeah.
So cool. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's wide, but you can do it in a way. So you if you look at it, all those yachts are happy to be anchored there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have one or two in Roseau, but the
Mm-hmm.
majority are in Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look at it.
So,
Yes,
so for people on the
yes.
north
Tell me,
side,
Roseau is wood.
who the people on the north side who have um, a long history of feeling left behind and underappreciated, you're saying what? You're saying what? People on Portsmouth side.
Change your allegiance. Give community a chance. And
Give unity a chance.
yes, and for some of my friends in the Portsmouth side who will be talking to me quietly and tell me, Carlos boy, all you need to come up with, yes. So embrace our candidates in that area and give our candidate the support and let us look to fix Dominica. Because all the ideas that you all are giving me, we talk. I sit down out there with you all. We talk regularly. Let us look at how we can implement. But first, we have to win.
Exactly. Exactly. You can't do any of these
And
beautiful things
without winning,
except you win. So, Carlos, looking ahead, what are your personal dreams and aspirations for yourself and for Dominica?
um, I want a life where I can get up and go to work without worrying about how, boy, is that work, boy. That
Mm,
would, but yeah, I want the place to be in such a way that you have no not much stress. A young person doesn't have the stress of they have an idea and they go to a financial institution or a government organization to help small business, and there's
mhm.
no fear of your idea being stolen or hijacked by someone who has more influence or more resources than you. I want an average young person to have no problem in fear of victimization. Because I remember when my brother was stopped at the airport because of my father's political leanings. So he was
Oh,
victim.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
really? Tell me
yeah.
more.
Enrique was
I know the
victimized.
story, y'all, but yeah, anything you can share?
Enrique was victimized. He was bringing someone to the airport, and that person was going out for medical attention.
So, Enrique, what did he do for work?
Taxi. He was a taxi operator.
And what
So
happened?
when he got there, first of all, he when he got his bus, he was prevented from getting his taxi license. It's not that he wasn't doing anything right, because I'm aware that he went to many channels to try and get his license, including going to the training and so on and so forth that requested.
For
And
sure.
other persons came in after him because of their political affiliation. They're able to come in and ply the taxi trade with no problems.
For
But he
sure.
was prevented from doing that. But he still pursued and was doing it as a gypsy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And they were looking for ways to keep guys like him and others. Like, and I don't want to call everybody in, because there are other persons who experienced that as well. You
Because,
understand? Because of their affiliation, because they wouldn't suck up to the thing. And I don't think, let me not say that. But I don't think that that it's a targeted or a thing that a policy position, but
Mm,
certain people would want to flex their, you know, and prevent people who they seem to be not favoring their party, and make it more difficult. So much to say that they put in that $20 when they put at the airport. Enrique was the first person to experience that $20 to come into the airport. $20. So when you charge somebody $80 to come to the airport,
yeah.
that's the tax fare, and $20 of that have to go to the airport because you have a hitch on your vehicle,
Hmm.
as compared to paying $1. That's what, so
Yeah.
so really you're getting $60 to come to the airport,
Right.
and, and it's not profitable.
And so what you're saying is barriers were
Yes, so
put in
barriers for young people
institutionally.
entry into business, you want to remove that. You want to make things simpler for persons. You want to be able to give them the support that they need to achieve their dreams.
I mean, why
You
is that
want,
important though? Why do you think that's important? Why is that important?
but the country wouldn't develop if you're not able to move forward.
Simple.
That's
So
I
simple. It's
yeah,
so simple.
yeah. Everybody has ideas. Everyone has ideas. A government needs to manage. You just simply need to put policies in place so that the people can thrive.
To free people up versus to block.
Right, right.
Simple.
So
It
so
seems
you
like
don't
it's
have to you
simple.
don't have to give people money. If people can make their Dominicans think Dominicans don't want to make their money. You put the policies in place. You make the environment right so that they can achieve their goals, do what they want to do. Everybody, every believe me, every young person has, and worse again, how small the world has become.
Hmm.
You see all the ideas of ways people do things overseas, and you want
Right.
to do it in Dominica. You have ideas that nobody else think of, and you want to do Dominica. It's very difficult because you come to some person with some what would seem outlandish to them. Because young people, we thinkers, we dreamers.
That's
Boy,
right.
what that? No boy, who gonna buy that? You
Hmm.
know? And then
Yeah.
later down the line, you seeing somebody doing it. Ah, okay. You understand?
Ah. This is my team. I laugh. Ah, team.
Eva. Eh, TCA is saying we should choke Dominica in the rice and start it over with TUD. Yes, we ready. We ready. And for those who think that is just Carlos and Alex alone, wait at the right time you'll see.
Well, I think Timal, I think I'm very encouraged by what I'm hearing you say, Carlos, as a young person, because honestly, I myself, I will say, I have felt some hopelessness and deep anxiety for sure, and some worry that our young people seem to be focused on very creative things, because that's what that's what youth is about, creativity and energy. But I do, you do hear people maybe in my generation worrying, wondering, well, where are our young people? What are they doing to save the country from all of this pain, to help us really truly reset? And like Keisha says, to chook Dominica in rice and start over with an organization like TUD. So it's 8:39.
And
Go
the
ahead.
and the thing, it's I would be it'll be remiss of me not to mention that it's happening on both sides.
Meaning, what do you mean? What's happening on both sides?
The tribalism is happening on both sides. We want to
Hmm.
move away from that kind of thing. The the average young person don't really want to talk politics here.
Hmm.
It's like a taboo subject.
Yeah. What
Like
do
a
they
tab-
want to talk about? What do young people want to talk about?
Boy, I want to
Money,
make money. They want to
money,
make their
money have
money.
to make. Yeah,
Yes, the average person interested. How they going to make their money for them
yeah,
to better themselves? Oh,
and
the
that makes
housewife,
sense.
the housewife looking to know to the son they come in, how they getting the food for them to cook for their husband.
I mean,
You know,
that makes sense. You know, that's what we should really, when things are going well, when things are healthy, when the country is healthy, that's what people worry about, right? You're focused on raising your
mhm,
kids, making your
mhm,
money, putting your money aside for retirement, taking care of your home, planting your little flowers. You don't want to be thinking every day about what is going to be in the news tomorrow. What big threats are we going to face? CBI. Well, let's close up on
mhm.
the CBI, as I mentioned, CBI, because so this week on the news that's if you're looking for, you'll find, you know, are you okay with your eyes over there?
No, I have something that came in my eye, but I
Well,
just trying to.
hopefully you can still think with
Yeah,
your
man,
eyes.
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm there with you.
So when it comes to the CBI, which is the Caribbean, what is it? Citizen by
Timber
investment.
investment, yes.
Some people
And
call
in
it
other
CIP.
countries, they refer to it as a CIP.
CIP.
Yes.
We know that Dominicans used to have us, Dominican born Dominicans, had basically free reign over the world because we were so tiny as an island and we were just, pretty chill, just essentially minding our
You,
business.
you remember when it used to have, there's a lot of Dominicans are probably not aware of that. The
What?
US visa being a multiple indefinite visa.
Multiple indefinite. Yeah. We used
I
to have
saw a
multiple
lot
indefinite.
of people not aware of that. And when you get that visa, you can go to America when you want, how you want, just to overstay 6 months
Yes,
as overstay, but you don't have to worry about getting a visa at all, at all, at all.
exactly.
Way back, way back in adding carbon days, Freedom
And
Party.
then because of the Britain connection, you could go
Mhm,
up to England, and you
mhm,
were basically, although Dominica had become independent, Dominicans were going up to England and basically just, you might have, I don't know what the process was, but a lot of people went up and then changed their status and all of that stuff.
mhm,
And just gradually, as we have, I personally think, focused so heavily on the CBI to the exclusion of, it seems, everything else. That's been, it's a big money maker, which is a positive for the country, yes, but it's also, like when you're doing fish, when you're doing balau, sometimes you bring in all kinds of stuff with the big nets of balau. And
yes.
we have so many new Dominicans who many countries are afraid. And they're not just afraid, they've had evidence, they've had to arrest many people carrying our passports.
Anti-Dr. Triphi, say
Yes.
what it is. Don't beat
I'm
around the
trying to be kind because it's been
don't
so,
beat around the
so
bush.
few
Don't beat
these
around the bush.
it's
Dominica
been
has lost its way in terms of the CBI. I'm not saying that it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we have lost our way, and we have lost control over it. It seems lost control over it, and we it's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
it's
Because
not.
if you
It's
look
good
at
money.
the current administration of the U.S., they pushing CBI. They
That's
call
right.
it a different name. They call it a different name. They give it a
Mhm.
different name, but they're doing it. What
Yes.
they have a problem with is the way we doing it. So if you do it properly, there's nothing wrong with it. Freedom Party did it, United Workers Party did it, Labour Party, everybody do it. But at present, they have lost the control over the CBI. So it has to be done properly. And when I talk agriculture, that is what people say, well, where you can get the money to do it? That is what an important place. That is what we should be looking to pump the money into to get our revenue into the country up. Take the money from that
Yeah.
and put
And
and
put
put.
the money, you're
Mhm.
saying take money. like like you do in business, right? So when you're running a business, you might whatever profits you get, some you might reinvest into the
Mm-hmm,
business, right?
mm-hmm,
Some you put on the side to grow
mm-hmm.
Petra, so that you can have have it make little babies for you, right? You're saying that the way we've managed the money part of it, plus the way we're doing the program, I mean, it's put us in a lot of hot water with the rest
Yes,
of the world.
that's not a lot of trouble. And you're hearing stories of questionable characters getting access to Dominican passport. All those things that these bigger countries will be worried about the. Oh. Good night, Ching. Yeah, Ching is one of our members. For those that CUD don't have people, look one.
Look one, look one. So back to the CBI, because we had, well, the countries, as they should, right? As they should, they have to protect their borders, they have to protect
Yes, so
themselves
so
from.
it's part of their hurting their security architect. So when you go giving people, especially those places that who we have visa-free access to, you give persons that they would not normally allow to enter the country the latitude to
Direct.
enter the country through your passport. I mean, come on. At, at one point they're going to look to close their borders. And if they have to do it that way, the rest of Dominica will suffer as a result of it.
Hmm.
We have family in the UK. You used to have visa-free access to there. We lost that. Now look, the rest of the EU going to look to put that.
And the
I'm
US.
well. We
And
already have, we already have the visa restriction in the US, but they're going to
well,
make
we
it
have
even,
visa restrictions, but it seems as if they were
it's going to
going
get even more
they were
difficult.
getting ready to put us on we don't know if it's
Blacklist,
a real list
a
of like
blacklist,
further
blacklist, so to speak.
restrictions.
And it come out as a segue. But you see, and for those who are, you have a diverse set of listeners. I'm
Mhm.
speaking for Dominicans. I say segue. Segue means secret,
Yes.
right? So I know you have your American viewers. Yes, I'm very careful on the bike. So much so that they call me a turtle because they say I riding too slow.
Except for the days when suddenly you're at the front, you're a
Yes,
ninja.
I had bike accident too,
Oh,
I,
really?
yeah, I had an accident on bike
I think I
once.
maybe remember one. I think I maybe remember one.
Yeah,
Um, what are your final thoughts on the CBI? What do you think? Do you think the government has room to to keep making money from that project? Because
well,
it's, with the
I
noose essentially tightening around the neck of the program, where will the country make money? As also, wait, I need to also add that the people that this government has chosen to align itself to, like China, like Venezuela, and again, countries can form agreements. Yeah, I'm not.
so so
There are going to be
so
tariffs on these countries. There are going to be tariffs placed on people aligned with. There's 25%, I think, tariff being proposed for anybody who's doing business with Venezuela. There's a tariff on boats, U.S. on vessels that are Chinese made. So our barrels are at risk
yeah, they're
of
gonna get
being more
more
expensive.
expensive. Things are, and that is something I raised with certain shippers and port managers around the Caribbean since last year. That
Mm,
I saw that coming. Because from the time the now president when he was campaigning, the rhetoric that he was pushing, and the
mhm,
trend that was seen towards the result of the election, I say,
mhm,
yo, what are you going to do when Mister put tariff on China? Because most of our thing coming from China.
mhm.
What's the plan?
Right,
We need to look at having some sort of way of getting our stuff directly from China to us in the Caribbean because we couldn't get more expensive if it has to pass through the US.
right.
So yes, China is our friend. I have no issues with China being a friend of Dominica. My issue is when we get into office, as long as the plan it aligns with our vision, as long as it's for Dominica, it's Dominica benefits from it, we remain along those lines. We remain in it. But if it doesn't benefit Dominica, it does. If it's not not in the interest of Dominica, we will look to review it. Review it. So, our thing is Dominica to benefit. We look at more of trade and less aid. So yes, you can help us, but what would be more beneficial to us is if you buy water from us, if you buy dashing from us.
Mm-hmm.
The old mentality holds true to this day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime, as opposed to giving him a fish. You understand?
Yes.
So you do trade with us. You like our country. You see how we are. This is what you're putting. We work with us. Let us get our stuff out there so that the money can come in to benefit Dominica.
Okay,
Because
so
the
on this, okay, so on this, on the China talk, you told me to be candid. Uh, some of the rhetoric coming from the U.S. right now, which I think is fair and reasonable because every country's got to protect its borders. That's their job. Um, is some worry that the Caribbean is could be a threat to the U.S. based on how close
oh
uh, of a relationship they have formed. We also, as a country, don't know exactly the full details of the collaboration between Dominica and China. We see a lot
right.
of.
So when I mentioned, of course, when we get there, we will review it. But
Mhm.
also, the US have to ask themselves a question as well. So
Right. What question do they have to ask
it's
themselves?
not it's not just or you're too close to you saying it's like a girlfriend find you too friend with that girl. I don't like you talking to that girl too much. You understand? Yeah.
Hmm.
What are you do? What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Climate change is something real.
Yeah.
It's something real. And when they sneeze up there, we catch the cold, and we have less resources to sustain the cold as compared to them.
Hmm.
So the US needs to work more heavily with the small island developing states, and
Hmm.
so that these countries can withstand the harmful effects of climate change. When those hurricanes, which are becoming even more ferocious
Hmm.
as the years go by, we're right in the line of fire. By the time
Hmm.
we reach up to America, by the time we reach up to America, the reach up to America is done. It's just a little flooding will get here and there, but
Right.
we all our roads destroying, houses destroying,
Mm.
schools destroying, and we have to start back from scratch with little to no resources,
Right. No help.
no help.
So
So
what
if,
you're saying
if
about the
China is willing
China-Dominica
to help us,
relationship, so what I hear you saying about the China-Dominica relationship is that it can be positive. Uh,
yes, it can be mutually beneficial.
mhm, mhm,
You understand? So yes, yes, they may want to help us, but we also need to focus on trade.
mhm. Trade,
So
and earlier on, you also mentioned the government negotiating better circumstances for people in the country when they are making these partnerships with
mhm,
China, so
mhm.
that our truckers don't have to beg for a bite.
Nope.
Or heavy equipment people don't have to
But
beg for a
that should
bite.
go without it should go without saying.
Should go without saying, it makes sense. But then again, I mean, you don't know who's making the deal and, how,
And
yeah,
what deal making?
right, 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 right.
Let me say it again. And what deal making? Leave it like that.
Well, Uh, let's start wrapping up. Keisha says the prime minister says we have an agreement with China years ago. She says up to now he cannot tell the country what's in the agreement. She's afraid they will sell us just now. I'm afraid of that too. Honestly, I think it's great. Like you're saying, I mean, every country really should be able to freely have agreements with other countries, and you can
Yeah,
make it
and
beneficial.
I think short of it being something that is implications for
Hmm.
your or this country's national security,
Right.
I don't see why
It
that
should be fine. It should be
should
fine. But
with
still,
that,
but the
with that
citizen,
national security implication. I understand. I
for
understand.
sure,
I
for sure.
understand. But it's something simple as an agreement. Yeah. Come on, diplomatic
People have
agreement.
a right to be
Yeah.
informed.
So that
And
people have less questions. I mean,
yeah.
there's a document put out there some time ago, but by and large, Dominicans are not impressed by what was put out there. So that tells you that even with the way that they see things happening, they're not impressed by the information that they receive.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So
Well, I
if you
appreciate you tonight, Carlos,
oh
as
wow,
we
we've been on for 1 hour 55
for two
minutes.
hours essentially. Um, I I'm grateful to you for sharing your story and your
So
goals and your plans.
we only just scratched the surface.
That's
you
the
never
thing.
you never even heard how Carlos got involved in video production. And true story, I was
Yes.
at Mapping as an IT guy, but
Uh-huh.
I was always when to look for Carlos is somewhere in the production department. So I would be with Gavin and them, Gavin Davis, Fred Oresti, so Julian Morris, and of course
Hmm.
Mr. Durrell, the news editor,
Hmm.
um, and look to see how we and I saw the rise of able Jews from since back in mapping days, and I used to tell them that those cameras are you cutting vary for you playing big boat. You go, no mapping cameras is the biggest. Yes, don't watch his size. Don't watch his size. So they're high
Yes.
quality for their time, and some of them are even current for now. But
Yeah.
I tell them, you see that big camera or the cutting vary with there. Those cameras going to be obsolete by that little thing there. That's going to make all you obsolete.
Yeah.
You understand? And true to word, if you look at the way news has evolved from back then to now,
Hmm.
you they use more of the IT infrastructure to rope people in. So you see people connecting to CNN on Skype. You
Right.
see you see them using their Cisco WebEx to connect to it. You understand?
Hmm.
All
Hmm.
these technologies they didn't just come yesterday.
Right.
So I used to tell them that those things, that phone there, that is a very powerful device that going to make because you come with a camera and Emo is my friend. I can give her a little knock there. Emo put me out of business on the funeral. So, but I would,
Not you
I,
alone.
yeah, but I wouldn't knock on that. You
Not
understand?
you alone.
When I have to go, what I have to go with, and me coming from a photography background, because
Uh-huh.
Lambi was also a hobbyist photographer. Yeah?
Photography and ham radio.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I would never respect a camera in that.
Yes,
You have
yes,
to have
yes.
your
You need a
lens.
real.
You have to
Hmm.
have your lens for you to focus and get that real thing. But
You were snobbish. Hmm.
yes, we put that. So I understand why the guys would put it aside, but you still have to have a little respect for Emo, because she's doing a good job for Dominica.
Have a lot
Um,
of respect for Emo.
yeah, so and yeah, I I I I get where she's coming from, and you can see other countries are respecting. Emo is big in Saint Lucia,
Of
so
course, as she should be.
yes, and she'll get welcoming Emo. Emo is a big star. So
As she should.
why we cannot treat our people like that in Dominica?
Mm.
Why our police have to treat her like an outcast?
Yes.
Work with her. Let's find a way for us to work together.
Hmm.
There's a big space. You know, right now there is no TV. news in Dominica.
In Dominica, wide opening, wide opening.
That's vacant. I mean, Mo is doing what she can, but that is something that needs to have some structure.
Structure
I
and
might,
production.
I myself, I started doing a little thing on the entertainment side where we had the Caribbean Video Network. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know that
Media.
Carlos used to have a channel in Dominica, on the news, and all shops and restaurants used to have that channel
Wow.
running the all they know the
Mm.
music video channel, right?
Yes.
And we used to have all our Dominican content, our Benji, the Colton T's, the WCKs, all of them used to give us our little drops. We used to have a a thing, a program where we feature our natural places and on the places that
Mm.
we can go.
You were the
I
early social media
Yeah, man. Before the real social media
took off.
craze, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had our stuff doing and going out to different restaurants and places to go to. The Nickel hikes. So it's a lot of work. Eh?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I can tell you that. To put those things together and still get to those places.
Right.
Yeah, but it's something that we can revisit and
Mm-hmm.
do it in a more structured manner. And again, it comes back to what I was saying earlier, where you have the resources to help persons and you put the policies in place, a government to put policies in place so
Right.
things like that can be possible. Because you don't
Exactly.
need government to pay you to do that.
No.
But if you drive a thing like that, you put it,
The
they have the
soil.
support.
The
Yeah,
government has to prepare the soil so that when you put
right,
the seedling in, the
right.
plant
Will
blooms.
go,
Yeah.
will
The
go.
government does not come and give you a plant. No. Because the government won't be able to give everybody plants. You got to make the
Right. But you
soil.
have to make it
Yes.
the climate right so that
Yes.
anything can grow.
Absolutely.
Anything can grow. So
Absolutely.
so so companies would be happy to advertise in a
For
thing like
sure.
that, and that would sustain a business like that. But I can tell you, it was very difficult.
A lot of work.
Very difficult because I mean the average person, if it's so hard to be in Dominica to operate a business, you're not going to look at increasing your marketing budget when
Right.
when when you're making so much money per month and you have to worry about your other costs of operations.
You got to pay this, you got to pay that. They
Right.
only
Yeah.
giving you $1 per pound
Yeah.
of your planting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Carlos, as we wrap up, we've been here for 2 hours. Great conversation with you. I'm very inspired. I feel like I learned some things about you tonight.
Really? You didn't know?
I, I didn't know everything. Your Uncle Cyrus is on there. He says you don't get anything from for free. From
And that is true. That
you
is
say you
true.
must pay because they believe in reciprocity, as it
Yeah.
should be. They don't believe in
Yeah.
just giving you and it's just a gift. Well, what am I getting back in return? Yeah,
So yes.
yeah,
I agree with that and I understand that. And
mhm.
I think we need to look more towards the beneficial side of things for Dominica.
Exactly. So the
For Dominica.
negotiators have to be tough enough to negotiate properly on behalf of the country if
Mhm,
they're making agreements with a country that is known to drive a very hard bargain. Yeah, even though it appears to be very easy for you on the front end. That's
mhm,
it. That's it. So before we leave, I want to offer your team something that I can do, right? As a Dominican who does not live in Dominica and who really day by day gets has been getting increasingly anxious about living in Dominica with the status quo as it is,
mhm,
but also recognizing that uh, there are many ways for diasporans to participate meaningfully in the process of nation building. Um, we didn't talk about mental health, which is my area, but I want to make my services available to Team Unity, as you focus on young people, I hear your push towards young people and helping young people build their skills and get opportunities. I want to make my services available to Team Unity. If you think that there's value for training counselors, mental health counselors, I am offering my service to train 10, 20 coaches, certify them, train them, certify them so that they're able to support the communities in the country, because that is one of our areas of huge need that, again, we don't have time. It's already 2 hours gone. That needs to be addressed in the country. Look, somebody's talking about the main hospital. Gregory is saying, I would like to know why the hospital was named that and not Dominica General Hospital. Because he's like, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are. A lot of people worry about the healthcare system. Like I said, we didn't have time to talk about it, but I'm going to leave that in y'all's bag. If this is something you might find value in, that's the money I can give.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Team Unity is a proactive organization. That is
Mhm.
why so we don't sit down and wait. We're not sitting down to wait to be in government to do what we have to do. So one of the things that we have done, is one of our team members is actively engaged in the export of Dominica's agricultural produce from
Mhm.
Dominica to the various islands of the Caribbean, and working on getting it into the mainland USA. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I know I know that many of our members are listening, including our core members. So
Yeah.
this suggestion that you just brought up there, one of our team members who is focused on the health aspect of Dominica, will take note of it, and that is something that we would look at, as well as the plans that we have afoot to get in. Of course, I can't let all the cat out of the bag, but there are
Mhm.
things that we're putting together where we will need persons such as yourself to come on and give the currency that you can afford to give.
I want
So
to
we,
encourage those of us too, really, on the mainland, in the UK, in Canada, in St. Croix, in St. Kitts, in everywhere, um,
yes,
places
those,
where our people
those,
are going
those in
home
China
first
too.
to vote,
Those
to do
those in China too.
to to consider um, finding ways to
Yeah. So
support the
so so we
community.
may not be able to give the largest of money that
Right,
so we can compete with the watches of,
right,
of, of the incumbents. But the
right.
little things that you can contribute, we would welcome it. Don't be afraid to reach out.
We may
And
not be able to give you Rolex watches.
right. But believe you me, we're a team that know how to make things work. And if you pay attention to the Dominica politics, a lot of the things that are happening and the things that are being said is
Hmm.
because of the work of Team Unity. Although
Mm.
you may not hear us, we are silenced
Hmm.
in traditional media. We are silenced. But when you hear people now talking about unity, you know where that came from. When you hear people now talking about doing different programs and now sponsoring students when they were never accustomed of doing that before, you know where that came from. And on that, let me big up our special $1 million scholarship daughter, Ava, who is
Yes.
out there, and I know she's doing very well in school. I'll be coming to see you very soon. But yes, Doc, we welcome working with our various diaspora persons in whatever way, shape, or form. And these are ideas, although we welcome it.
Hmm.
We welcome it. We, 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 we will find ways to make it work to the benefit of Dominicans. So,
Dominique.
our dear sister will continue to engage Dominicans in the agriculture, getting the produce out of Dominica. So don't be afraid to ship your stuff out. Don't be afraid to ship your stuff out. Reach out to Petrocarbon George. She
Mm.
is involved in the export of Dominica's produce. You can feel confident in getting your produce out there. And she's also doing big things with this person in the Casabus area who's producing the chips.
The banana
Right.
plantains. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And that is available for sale in the VI.
Yeah.
That's available for sale in the VI.
Yeah.
We have no resources, and we're able to do those little things.
Right.
We able to do those little things. So we want to get Dominica to the place where we can. First of all, you look at the way the world is going. We have to look at feeding each other, trade among
Yeah.
each other. And I listen to some of the regional leaders talking to in that direction. We
Mm-hmm.
need to get ready to do that, to be able to trade with other countries
Coming.
around
It's
the
coming
Caribbean.
for
Around
sure.
the Caribbean.
Well, bring us home. What are your final thoughts? What's your biggest takeaway from tonight? What do you want to leave uh, Dominicans with tonight?
I want to make a special appeal to the young people such as myself who would not really care too much about the direction that the country is going, other than the place tight, the place hard. Team Unity is made up of a lot of serious people who has a passion for the positive growth of Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not just we have experienced people on the team. You understand? But,
Mm-hmm.
but but it's a mixture of a diverse group of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So you get youth, you get experience, you get women, you get men. We have different persons who have all uniformly focused on the best, what is best for Dominica,
Mm-hmm.
and not like what persons will say. We're not looking to fix our party or fix ourselves. We're looking for Dominica first and Dominica foremost.
Yeah.
Whatever way, shape, or form that Dominica can benefit, that is the first goal, and then we can worry about the rest. We can worry about the rest. So the young people who are not too interested in politics, and I don't care about politics. Politics is everyday life.
Life. Politics is
Politics is
life.
your juice that you're going to drink. Politics is the beer that you're going to drink this weekend. It affects the cigarette that you smoke and the weed that you plant.
For sure.
Everything. Politics affects every single thing. The gas you put in your scooter, the price of that is affected by politics. So you need to work with a team who is serious about Dominica. And I need to encourage you to find out a lot more about Team Unity. It's much more than Alex and Carlos. Carlos has been not active on the media, the traditional media circles, as compared to others who have been pushed for obvious reasons. But we're still here. We're still on the ground, engaging with the people on a one-on-one basis. And probably I need to take more pictures so people can see me there.
You need to take more pictures. I'm
Yeah,
saying I eat this hibiscus today. Here's
yeah,
my goat. Here's my
yes, yes,
plantain. That's what you
yes.
have to do. As the
But
media man, you know
we're
what
not
to do.
we're not about the show and tell. Now and then you see we do something and they say, "What? Then are you doing that?" And then others will come and pick it up to try and make themselves look good. But we have always we engage with every single opposition party in Dominica. We
Yes,
are reached out to them.
yes.
So we're not against anybody. So if you want to know more about our program, reach out to any one of our Facebook and other social media channels or email address. Send us an email. We'll be glad to engage with you, talk to you more, and reach out. Our numbers are always there as well. So reach out to us, and we will talk more about how we can work together to build Dominica to the place that we know it can be.
I thank you. As Dominican say, I thank you.
Thank you very much to you, Dr. Triphi. Thank you to your viewers and listeners for tuning in, for and those who have been there for the past 2 hours and 40 minutes and
Right,
49 seconds.
steady. I really
With
appreciate you guys for
yeah,
2 hours of your time, of your
yes.
life.
Shout out to all our viewers from all over the world, including the US, Texas, the UK, Canada, my uncles and aunts who are listening, my mom back at home, and Lambi may be listening to you.
And me may
Yeah.
be listening to somewhere. And be
Yeah.
listening somewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Y'all, please share tonight's live. Share your thoughts. What's one takeaway you
According
have
to Mr. Banton, share the
today?
live, share the live,
Share the live.
share the live.
I appreciate y'all sitting in with me on my sit on the couch conversations. Look out for the next conversation. All
There's
right.
space on the couch. There's space on the couch.
There is space right there on the couch. You can parler en l'autre fois. Peace. Okay.